coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I am simulcasting on Bumble tonight, and I welcome everybody to the stream that comes in, and we're going to see quite a few interesting things coming on. Did you catch Trump saying, "I'm the only one that knows"? Well, we're going to see that he is starting a counteroffensive in the lawfare situation, and we're going to see that NATO and the EU is going to find out. So anyway, while we're waiting for people to get into the stream, I'm going to play my intro video. So hope you all got a nice cup of coffee or a little hot toddy or whatever you like, a glass of wine or maybe a chocolate milkshake and a banana. I don't know. But anyway, here we go.
ISIS is honoring President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS, okay? He's the founder. He founded ISIS. And I would say the co-founder would be crooked Hillary Clinton.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. Do I think he was killed? 100%. Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. There were a lot of men in those planes, a lot of men who visited that island, a lot of powerful men who came into that apartment.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
I think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it.
Ha, that's why I like to freeze that right where he's sitting there. So anyway, folks, I hope you're doing well. And I got a little video I'm going to play that Mr. T posted. And I think you all find it interesting. How you doing, KNS Cleanup? Doc, how you doing? Sissy, Colette, Darla, how you doing, Mark? Cat Tracker, nice to meet you. Welcome aboard. Cat Tracker, nice to see you. Let's see. Wow. Love's here. Robin's here. Doc is here. Wanda's here. Television shows. Marie. Nice to see you. Canis got chops of wood. All right. Well, I'll play another little short video. I know what you got to do to chop wood. That's for sure. Pappy Two Bears. Television shows. Yeah, it's a good video. It is hot in July. Roland. Nice to see you. Todd's here. Let's see. All right. Angel's here. So let's see. A little video Mr. T put up. And you see I picked out this picture where he's holding out a red pill, winking, and the State of the Union was just what we surmised. We talked about it last night, but just what we surmised, that it would be a call for unity and anticipation for the American people. So anyway, this is a good little video Mr. T put up.
America is back. And we are just getting started. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, we must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
There you go. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Got to have that produced. And as I said, I saw a clip of him saying he considered himself a wartime speaker. Hi, Miss Mindersue. How you doing, Tracy? Nice to see you. So let's see if we get any more people from the other side come in. Have a good little conversation. You know they're going to be bothered, hot under the collar, and we'll just roll with it. We'll just see if we can get them to, I told you what the definition of the word repent is. It's not used always as somebody that's Bible thumping or trying to preach at somebody. Repent means just to take another look. Take another look and look at things a different way. That's what repent means. And somebody comes in, they got themselves a little worked up or whatever. We'll see if we can't gently push them towards repentance. Ha, ha, ha. So we've got Mr. T, busy as always, was in the Oval Office today and signed some executive orders. We're going to go over that and gave some interesting hints. One thing he brought up was the assassination attempts. And here, look at this creepo right here. Remember him? Wonder where he is. I know where he should be. Clandestine put up, which nation did Ralph visit in 2022 during wartime? Ukraine. Which nation did Ralph recruit soldiers for? Ukraine. Which nation stood to benefit the most from Trump not winning the 2024 election? Ukraine. And here he is. He's got his Ukrainian flag. This is him actually in Ukraine. I wonder if I get in trouble for saying that country's name so many times. Here he says, "Oh, please, world, we need everyone here. This is good against evil. These children want normal lives. We cannot tolerate corruption and evil for another 50 years. And Russia for our kids." Good luck with that. Good luck ending the Russian Federation, a nuclear power. Just like Napoleon tried, just like Adolf tried. Yeah. And here he is, putting down flowers at a memorial or whatever it is they does. And Trump was saying, how many different cell phones he had and foreign apps, along with the deranged, what was his name? Thomas Crooks. So anyway, look what a $1 trillion psyop can do to somebody. Look at that face. The misplaced anger and hatred. And I'm going to leave it up there, so if you pass somebody in the street, you'll know, especially if you're wearing a red hat. I'm just saying, hi, Sherry, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yvonne, nice to see you. Debbie's here. Let's see. All right. So anyway, we've got a whole list of videos and stuff that have come out, and this fallout. Did I put that in my title? I don't know. I may have put it in Rumble and didn't put it in YouTube. I can't remember. But the speech fallout is still happening. And, it's so good that they've got new people coming in to the pressers in the Oval Office instead of the old guard news setup bunch, because they go through so many subjects. He's got no notes right off the top of his head. He goes over everything. And the Democrats are just treading water and coming up with tired bunch of garbage. So anyway, I might as well put up a little meme here that you could probably put up on Meta, because you gotta hit them with humor. They don't know how to handle humor. This is not normal. That's right here. This whole bunch is not normal. And they dress in pink for women, right? But then again, they vote to allow men to continue to brutalize women in sports and stuff like that. They're dysphoric. They're dizzy, as my mother used to say. But she used to put a different word past that. Started with a B. Anyway, my mother would get a little crass at times, especially dealing with dizzy bees. Speaking of, I don't know. I've got a couple of pictures with this individual. Have we figured out what this person is right here? Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I mean, is it a mystery or here? Right here. Trump War Room put this up. I'm just going to leave this here. Do we know what's... they didn't wear pink. So who knows? I don't know. There's another picture. So I would say that's a memeable countenance. Is that a good way to put it? A memeable countenance. Here's what somebody put up here. Vince Langman put this up. The contrast between Republicans and Democrats last night could be summed up in these two photos. I don't know. What's that one sings for the Rolling Stones? Keith Richards. Maybe it's Keith Richards. I don't know. TJ, how you doing? Yeah, Klinger from MASH. Klinger from MASH. Now, I put Storm Shadow in I made that thumbnail well over a year ago. I knew it was going to be an issue, but it wasn't the time to address it. And I was running late, and I said, well, I'll just go ahead and put this thumbnail up. Because they have been toying and threatening with the idea of sending storm shadows into Russia, not intercontinental, but they are ballistic missiles that go beyond any treaties or agreements. It would be a open not an open invitation, but it would be one of the precursors to a World War III breaking out. They start using stuff like that. So anyway, I think that Zelensky and Starmer and Macron were all trying to figure out ways to be able to utilize weapons that would strike much farther into Russia than they have in the past. And their plans are coming to naught. And if they do, they will do it without the United States blessing. And it's like, Wayne, I noticed the message you gave me in your comment, and it said that our charter with NATO is basically, if they start a problem, they have to finish it. We've got an out. We don't have to go and protect countries when they step out of line and break any treaties with Russia or agreements with Russia and get themselves in a pickle. And that is what we're seeing being maneuvered right now. Trump is making it very public and very clear he wants a ceasefire. So if they go beyond that and get themselves in a pickle, it's going to be their pickle, not ours. So here's this one I told you all about yesterday. I said I'd try to get a screenshot of it. Somebody put this up. Breaking irate and disruptive pimp waving pimp cane ejected from joint session of Congress. So he got censored today. And it was, I called a half-baked censure, kind of like Adam Schiff got. Charlie Rangel is the name of the guy I was trying to remember, who got censored about 20 years ago, I think, or somewhere around there. And he had to take a dressing down in the well of the House for the public to see and to put on record. But we never saw that with Adam Schiff. And when they went to do it with Al Green, a bunch of kooky Democrats stood around singing, "We shall overcome," which is an insult. And I don't know if Johnson's going to do it later or not. We shall see. But they should do it forthwith, I would say. Forthwith. Whoa. I was trying to take that out of the studio. Let me see. So, speaking of Adam Schiff, I told y'all he still had his own channel, right? He started his own channel. And this is the kind of stuff he puts up that the real TDS crowd flocks to. Schiff destroys Donald Trump in major speech. I don't remember any speech. The only speech the world is talking about was the one Trump did. And has a nearly, I'll say nearly 80%, 76, 77, depending on who you talk to. And, but he got 27,000 views in 1 hour. God knows what he's got now. So people living in that news echo chamber, it's great when they come here, don't get upset at them. Don't even respond to them. I'll take care of them. And I can remove comments. And when I'm done attempting to speak with them, I will dispose of them if they don't want to be reasonable. So please keep that in mind as we move forward. So I don't have my picture of Rachel Maddow with the charges against her that I've put up a few times. I have to dig that back up. But Trump put out also that Rachel Maddow and Nicole Wallace should be forced to resign. Now, you know what? I think that they are copywriting whatever Rachel Maddow said, because I can't find her comment. Now, they both work for MSNBC, right? And but I have seen the comments Nicole Wallace said, especially about that young kid, DJ is his name. And she took it even farther. Let's see if I have a Forbes put that out, and that's just a minute long video. No, is this one Forbes? Yeah, a minute and 58 seconds. There was another one they put up. Let's see, that has Nicole Wallace's face on it. So this is a unique kind of pressure that they're putting on MSNBC. We'll see if they take the hint. And Nicole Wallace took it even farther by saying Trump cut cancer research funding, which is a complete, total lie. And there may be repercussions from that. I mean, she was trying to patch a hole in her boat and just pull a Three Stooges where, what are you doing? Why are you drilling a hole in the boat? To let the water out that got in from the first hole. Oh, okay. Let me help you. And then they start drilling more holes. So that's kind of the way they handle things. And we shall see if MSNBC does something about it. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, I got a little cold, but let's see. Let's see. I can't find that picture of Nicole Wallace, but it's just as well. I've seen so many ugly faces. Oh, you want to see some real good ugly faces? Here we go. Characters for new Batman movie released. You can put this on Meta too. Get a screenshot. What the heck? Put it on Meta and have a little laugh. All right, you're back. Back chopping wood. That's welcome back. Hey, Bushnell, how you doing? Do you remember that Three Stooges stunt? Roland's here. So, yeah, they had a hole in the boat, water come in, they start drilling holes to let the water out. Gary, how you doing? Yeah, I'm wondering, well, Trump said Putin has no other choice. He said about Zelensky's got no other choice. And he said, Putin doesn't have any other choice either. But I'm the only one that knows why. Did you catch that? Did you all catch that when he said that? Nobody followed up on it. Isn't that interesting? And, the notion of like people like Schiff being already gone is very intriguing. And I'm just wondering how much of this show we're seeing is where these people are either they have a body double doing it because the perpetrator's already sitting somewhere, or are the actual person. I know there are people that have been taken out of the picture. I know that. But I also feel there's people being forced to play a role. And I'll use Lindsey Graham as an example. Aunt Lindsey, he's there when you need him. And I think it's because he's had a little talking to. He's playing the game. He's playing the game. You know, this kind of crap that they pull, saying stuff like they said with Trump canceling cancer research, all that does is foment more people like Ryan Ralph, the guy I just had on the screen who went to Ukraine. All that does is create more people like him. And not just danger to Trump, but supporters, okay? And I got some clips of people doing just that. Look here. TikTok. Here's some beauty queen cleaning her ears out. And she's responding. I mean, who in the world? I don't even show my face. Much less am I going to get on camera to be forever on the internet taking a Q-tip to my ear. But anyway, I played a video where this one woman was hinting that people needed to take one for the team and go after Trump and all that. Here's somebody responding to that. Did a video on people responding to these lunatics.
Now, I done said that Mr. Elon Musk, Mr. whoever, if they touch my money, it's going to be me. It's going to be me.
What you just watched was a response to another leftist creator's video asking somebody to do it.
Y'all, I fear somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly.
I done said I was going to do it. It's going to be me. I done told my partner to take care of my kids.
And we need to set up a GoFundMe for whoever does it to make sure they have the absolute best commissary in there. Top-notch noodles.
Really like sardines, you know? So, and then canned chicken is like $9. So please stack it up in the commissary. But I will take one for the team. 100%. I will do it.
So that was acceptance of an open contract that another leftist creator put on the airwaves in code on another person's life. The original full video that she's responding to is gone, but I have the original on my page, so don't worry about that. You all think it's fun and fucking games until you push somebody over the edge that has a few screws loose. And I'm hoping we all make sure this gets to who it needs to get to. Follow, repost.
You know, and I'll tell you that is such a cultural statement. This person cleaning their ears, saying, if you touch my money, there are millions like this. What money? Okay? Oh, the money you get every month for just breathing, existing. I told my partner, your partner? What's that? Who the hell knows? Is that one of these HUD stories where, oh, I'm all by myself, and then you got your rent paid, and then your partner moves in, but you can't let anybody know, or you lose your benefit. And, you know, there's so many hustlers, so many thieves, and then they want to get violent. Here's a moron here. This guy wants to call out the military. Now, they were saying conservatives and people who read the posts from the 17th letter were cuckoo, right? Well, this guy, he doesn't seem like much of a tough guy to me, but I guess he thinks he is.
Well, anyone that watched the debacle last night knows that it is truly time for the Democrats to be calling upon the military to remove MAGA. I'm not making this up. It's in our Declaration of Independence. When our government no longer serves the people, when the government runs out of control, it is the responsibility, no, it is the right of the people to replace that government. And boy, is it time. Will the Democrats call upon the military to remove This fascist regime that does not in any way support the Constitution, that has broken every oath of office? No. Will they try to impeach? No. What will they do? Not much. Thanks, Joe Biden. This is all your fault. Thanks so much for it. And bye, America. It was a nice 200 plus years, right, Ember? It was good, but it's over now.
Well, I'm sure you voted for Joe. And he's only been in, I guess when he did his video, Trump was in 45 days. And he's already declaring the republic destroyed and has to be redone. Here, I mean, this is the type of person you can't talk to. I guess you could try, but what were they watching last night? An inspirational speech, congratulating people, touting the achievements, discussing how much they have been stealing for decades. What was this guy watching? Well, here's the kind of crap I've been seeing on YouTube. Remember, these things I maintain are backed and pushed in the algorithm and because of funding from outfits like USAID and other NGOs, right? This impact. Look, they haven't got, I put in the comments, you haven't got an original bone in your deformed bodies. Okay? So they come up with these stickers like they had with Joe Biden and the gas pumps. After 6 weeks, they're putting stickers in grocery stores. We did that with Elon and Trump. And of course, they don't show the price of the eggs where they put the stickers. And if you look, it's Organic Valley. Did you ever see the price between these, I call them designer eggs? Designer eggs. I mean, I can get organic at a local farm. I get all I want, for about $3 a dozen. And they're range fed chicken. They're range free, and not everybody's got that. But organic is going to be more expensive. They don't even show the price. But they had 4 stickers, and I didn't bother to take screenshots and crop all that crap. But how unoriginal. How many people go to the store and look at these stickers and say, give me a break? He hasn't been in there scarcely over a month. And didn't all you people say that Joe Biden was doing a great job and that there was no real inflation? We were exaggerating. So anyway, they're foundering, but the rhetoric is causing these types of people to want to get violent. That's the thing I'm talking about. Anyway, here's Schiff. If you all want to do a side-by-side comparison of a 2-year difference. But anyway, here he is being a hypocrite. He switches his narrative, and people like that guy in the orange shirt just go right along with it.
What concerns me the most, frankly, is, this relentless assault on the Justice Department, on the FBI, by not just Trump, but all the other Republican candidates. They're attacking the Justice Department. They're trying to breed a lack of confidence in our justice system. That's going to have long-term damage. It means that people aren't going to trust the FBI. They're not going to report crimes. Witnesses won't come forward. Juries are going to be suspicious. In other cases, completely unrelated to Donald Trump. And this is by the party that was supposed to be a party of law and order. They've become a party of lawlessness and disorder, but it will do lasting damage.
Justice Department leadership populated by only cowards and fools. A Justice Department used both as a sword to go after the president's enemies and a shield to hide its corruption. Then, what will remain of our nation of laws? But a sad memory of a time when we lived up to our founders' dreams only to squander the gift of our inheritance.
Yeah, you can show them stuff like this all day long. The people that are lost in this TDS maelstrom. But how many of you all got to watch his Oval Office press conference and signings today? Since Schiff is talking about the Justice Department, I haven't seen any creators talk about what I'm going to talk about right now. Trump signed a executive order getting Perkins Coie, removing their security clearance, the whole law firm. And he's like, oh, this is an honor to sign this. But he did something else. He instituted another executive order about lawfare. It's been on the books for a long time, many years. I think it's called Federal Rule 65C. 65C. And it is where you have to post a bond for injunctions, an injunction bond. And Trump, I'm not going to say he was playing dumb, but he was asking questions in front of the press to give a little bit of history, acting as if he needed to be refreshed as to why they were doing it. And for a long time, the Justice Department had the authority and the power to make people post bonds if they wanted to protest or sue, protest through the legal system or sue to disrupt the normal function of government. If they had an issue, they have to post a bond. And if they lose the bond and could possibly lose whatever money the government has to expend or loses by virtue of being held up with a lawsuit. They could be personally responsible. Personally responsible. Think about it. Think about all the different lawsuits they've been filing. Now they have to post a bond. So I guess in a way, Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett kind of nudged this along. Instead of just getting quick win. Okay, we have good cause to start invoking these bonds. And it could be in the millions. You want to talk about them thinking twice about conducting lawfare? And the other thing, the order to start enforcing the requirements of Rule 65C was separate. But the one revoking Perkins Coie security clearance also said to investigate their violations of civil rights by implementing DEI practices in over 15 different law entities. Now, these are private law firms, but they're also going to go after private companies and also government agencies from the angle of it being criminal. So it's offense, okay, and defense. They're going to defend themselves from future lawsuits by requiring multi-million-dollar bonds, personal liability if they lose, which they have been for the most part losing. And also they're going to be investigated for things like what Disney did to Gina Carano, right? Here we have somebody put this up. Disney has a major content problem. Almost their entire upcoming slate is unwatchable. They are the biggest example of go woke, go broke. But they're still pumping the stuff out. They're getting money from somewhere. And I think it's going to come to light that a lot of it is redirected money from the taxpayer. Okay? This shell game. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. Let me see. I think I said hi to Diane. I can't remember. In his speech last night, he said he had on the 2nd of April, he didn't want to do it on the 1st. He claims he's superstitious. Yeah. Oh, God, things are, in the next 30 days, yeah, things are going to be coming out every single day. Every single day. But this today he was really low-key and calm and very comfortable looking. And I'm going to watch the whole thing again. But I can't believe that I'm going to watch Robert Gavoya and see if he mentions it. The implications of what I just discussed. And there's another guy I watch. Let me see. Here we go. This fellow here. Trump wins. Remember I was talking about Hampton Dellinger? Okay. The one I forget which judge it was. It might have been Amy Barrett Jackson or whatever her name is. The one who was picking on Roger Stone and everybody. Anyway, they said Trump had to keep him in office as a special counsel. Well, they lost. The appeals court blocked the order, and Dellinger is fired. This is Law of Self-Defense. You all might enjoy checking that channel out. He's got a, decidedly right perspective on the right, which is fine with me. And I can't watch but so many law channels. But, on occasion I will tune into his live streams or check out his shorter videos. But I'm going to be curious to see if they cue in on two big things: making the left post bonds and be personally liable if they lose trying to disrupt government functions, and this increased pursuit of civil rights violations and violations of the law for DEI. So I mean, it's going to cost barrels of money. What's this one here? Let me go through some of these. Here's ABC, always being commie. This one came out before Trump signed his executive order. A federal judge on Thursday issued a nationwide injunction against blocking the Trump administration from freezing federal funding without going through Congress. Well, it's like Trump said, he has the power of impoundment, and he is the chief law enforcement officer. He has plenary power in the Constitution. This judge is ordering prohibits the Trump administration from reissuing, adopting, implementing, giving effect to, or reinstating under a different name a short-lived directive issued by Office and Management Budget that froze billions in funds. So these judges are saying they've got to spend money, that they have to hurry up and get it out there, and that the executive branch has no authority or can take the time to do anything about waste, fraud, and abuse. And I believe that hearing background on these cases got the Justice Department to suggest that executive order that is going to make people post bonds. And these judges that keep issuing these sweeping orders that are beyond their scope of authority, I think we're going to see internal removal process. I'll put it that way. An internal removal process by the judiciary to get rid of some of these judges. And it's all going to be done in a confident, professional manner, not acting anywhere like the lunatics we saw during that speech. What's this one? Let me see. ABC's always coming up with crap. Yeah, this is ABC. As President Trump seeks to reshape the federal government at breakneck speed, his administration has encountered a flood of litigation challenging the legality of its early actions in office. With more than 100 federal lawsuits filed since inauguration, Trump and his administration have effectively been sued 3 times for every business day he has occupied the Oval Office. Well, let's see if you're bragging about that in the next couple of weeks when people got to post bonds and be personally held at risk. Here's something you all might want to read and perhaps make a copy of for your own meta page. I've never heard of this person, Jordan Maxwell. Apparently lived to be 80-something. Nothing in this world operates the way you think it does. Banks do not loan money. Governments are not empowered to protect you. The police department is not there to serve you. Institutions of higher learning, colleges and educational institutes are not there to educate you. The entire superstructure of civilization in the Western world is a combination of brilliantly put together and planned, well-planned schemes to direct the minds of the people in such a way as to serve their masters. Oh, I guess that's another way of talking about the principalities and this spiritual battle we're always in. Here's the vote with censoring the pimp with his pimp cane. Yay was 224. 224. Nay, 198. Wow. That's a pretty good spread, considering the Democrats always stick together, right? Well, not this time. They had 10 Democrats jump ship to condemn, basically, the pimp. Didn't I say? You know what? They're not going to be forgiven. They're not going to be forgiven. They're going to have to switch parties, and we might not even want them. But it could be fairly said this was a bipartisan condemnation of his behavior. And the things that you see in chats, the comments that you see about this, it's always like, well, nobody said anything when Bobbitt and Marjorie Taylor Greene said something. Well, they blurted out something and were told to be quiet and sit down, and they did. And, who's to say whether that behavior is unbecoming? The bottom line is when they were told by the Speaker of the House to restore order and behave themselves, they did. That's the difference. This guy was told to take his seat and restore order, and he repeatedly refused. So that's the answer to that. Let me move this over here, because I think this Disney lawsuit, does BlackRock own Disney? Somebody in the chats might have more on that than me. I don't know. I think these are exercises in breaking the backs of people who have gotten control of companies, and it doesn't mean we need to destroy these companies. We need to destroy the people that are puppet mastering these companies. BlackRock, Disney, all these companies have shareholders. They have employees who are not looking for trouble. We don't need to destroy the business and harm people who have own stock for their retirement portfolios, their whatever they are, the funds they have, and thousands of people that go to work every day because there's a bunch of lunatics that have taken over their business. So I think these lawsuits, and also with Trump maneuvering BlackRock into a position where they're having to deal with a issue as serious as the Panama Canal for international trade and national security, is going to be designed to flush out these entities. But anyway, here's a and preserve a company. Maybe prune them back through antitrust laws or whatever, but we don't need to destroy. What we used to call them, blue ribbon, like IBM, Ford, GM, Texas Instruments. They were all called blue ribbon stocks. And a lot of retirement funds and hedge funds, things that people will get with a broker and let them handle their, thousands and thousands of law-abiding citizens own stock in all different kind of companies. And we don't want to damage the companies, but we want to get the creeps out. But anyway, here's a funny little meme. I'm pro-oxygen. sweet, beautiful oxygen. And here's your liberals. That's the way they're making themselves look, folks. Yeah, okay, Todd. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Angel, you got some suck? Yeah. Don't forget that Trump can force American corporations under a state of emergency to assist in whatever effort is going on that is important to the nation. So getting an American company locked in, Trump has the power and the authority. It's he might as well own it if he's president, and we won't let it get alienated. Speaking of creepos that are manipulating businesses, they've gone from not just these blue ribbon companies, but we talked about Stacey Abrams here. Here's Robert Gavoya, is the other legal channel. Whose face do you see on there? But the name didn't get put in the title. The name didn't get put in the thumbnail picture. This was $375 billion that was released very hastily to a brand new company that a bunch of creeps set up, John Podesta. Didn't we hear his name very early in the 17 drops? Podesta. Now, Stacey got her fingers into, what was it, $2 billion of that $375 billion. Well, we're going to see what comes out of that. And yes, there is going to be something that's going to grab the world's attention, or an exposure. And I remember doing a live stream discussing how America was really interested and couldn't believe that Jimmy Carter was considering loaning money to Chrysler Corporation. I think it was $50 million. And it became a subject of national interest. And here we are looking at these figures with these known criminals like Podesta and all the sneaky garbage that Stacey Abrams pulled. $375 billion on top of all the other billions and billions and billions that, like what Trump was talking about during his speech. And there's no outrage. We've got so many people like that, one cleaning her ear out, doing a TikTok, living a slothful life, and a check in the mail every month, that's all they care about preserving. So there's got to be something pop up, or that's got to electrify people. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think it's getting closer. And I don't want to give people false hope or anything, but here's something that was very few people talked about. Trump put this truth up, congratulating Linda McMahon. And, that's a pretty professionally done picture. I'd say glamorous, wouldn't you? Trump put it up, but not a lot. People mentioned it in the news. But I think this is one of the biggest appointments in that Trump reiterated today that her job is going to be to dismantle the Department of Education. And last week, I did a live stream that showed how the Department of Education went from around 30 to 35 billion a year. In 2022, it rocketed up to $250 billion. Over 250 billion. More than that. 2 years, well, really 3 years in a row. It got over 220 or 230 billion more than it traditionally ran. Almost 10 times the budget. And I think that she's going to come up with something. But it's all part, USAID was 56 billion. I think the money laundering is going to be about 5 times that out of the Department of Education. The money going straight from the taxpayer to woke ideology and communist foreign interests. So we shall see. Let me see where Jack Posobiec's got to say. Oh, I don't know why I took a screenshot of this. It's sad. It's sad. I just saw this today. Inventor of the 5-toed climbing shoe, Robert Fleary, dies in a 1,000-foot fall during an Italian mountain climbing trip. I just put it in my studio because I used to watch these guys doing this rock climbing. Ever since Stallone did that movie, I can't remember the name of it, where he was a rock climber. And Clint Eastwood did a movie called The Eiger Sanction. I was fascinated by climbing. And also, during one of the Star Trek movies, you had Captain Kirk climbing a mountain, and Spock rescued him from falling with rocket boots. I don't know if you all remember. So I always had this side interest in climbing. And I quit watching these videos because a lot of people, young people, get feeling invincible, and there's more of them die than people realize. But anyway, it's just sad. This guy is no longer with us. Here we go. Firings. Daily Mail. CIA begins Doge-inspired purge of employees as they get summoned to off-site location to surrender their badges. The story on this is that this is people that are unnecessary. Political hires, people that are still in their probationary period where their position is deemed non-essential or fluff. It's going to be in the thousands. That's the first stage. The next stage is going to be digging into the surviving employees, their record, their actions, scanning for corruption, okay? That's going to be the next phase. So anyway, people are getting called in right now out of the CIA in the thousands to hit the road. Here we go. Trump revokes security clearances from Steele dossier law firm Perkins Coie. So, again, there's no mention of the injunction. I mean, the bond requirement. No mention of the DEI investigation that is ordered, ramped up through a executive order. Remember the FBI guy that was fired for hiding the FBI Epstein files, right? Well, here he is cleaning his desk out. This is him cleaning his desk out and leaving the building. They're playing the bagpipes for him and honoring him. And you can best believe that Kash Patel is keeping an eye on every one of these people that are celebrating this person who was exhorting FBI agents to dig in and resist the new president. And, you know, you get their identities, you watch how they behave. That's one of the first ones you go after their direct messages, text messages, see if they had anything to do, any ties with the lawfare or even worse, the attempts on Mr. T's life. But anyway, here's how they honor a bum like this, a criminal in my opinion.
An extraordinary scene outside of the New York FBI office in the last hour. Assistant Director in Charge, James Dennehy, who was forced to resign under pressure this week, left the building to cheers from hundreds of his colleagues and the sound of bagpipes. He was forced out after clashing with Donald Trump's Justice Department after the removal of senior FBI leaders and requests for the names of agents who worked on the January 6 cases. He told those gathered that he will be their, quote, best cheerleader on the outside. We'll be watching for that. Another break for us. We'll be right back.
Yeah, you figured it'd be MSDNC reporting on that. And they didn't mention anything about the Epstein list. They didn't mention anything about the Epstein list. Did you notice that? And you can hire a bagpipe player, but I see what you're saying, Debbie. Bill Barr played the bagpipes. That's been, oh my gosh, 10 years ago? 8 years ago? But I think that was somebody hired. Anyway, here's a clip of Trump. Let me see what, I can't remember. This was an hour and a half long presser. And I got a clip here. Let me see we'll see what he's talking about in this clip.
It's been 7 months. Why do you think we don't know more about the guy who shot you in the ear?
Yeah, well, and the second one with all of his cell phones. So I want to find the answers. I've told them. In fact, today I said, I want to find, we can no longer blame Biden for that one. He should have released that a long time ago. So they are giving me a report next week sometime, and I do believe I'll be releasing. I want to release the report. A lot of people have asked that question. You had one who had 3 apps, 2 of which were foreign, supposedly, and who has the biggest white shoe law firm in Pennsylvania, even though they don't live in necessarily a white shoe area. What's that all about? His law, the law firm. The other one had 7 or 6 cell phones, and I don't have 6 cell phones. And why would somebody have 6 cell phones? So we're going to be releasing a report on that soon, Peter.
But based on what you're saying right there, the lack of information and the data points that you just gave, does that make you think that there's some part of there's some bigger...
It could be. Well, it makes other people think that. It makes me think it a little bit too. I say, when you have 3 apps and 2 of them are foreign, and you had an FBI that wouldn't report on it, they didn't want to say why, I would say that could be suspicious. And then on the second assassin, you had, and by the way, I have to tell you, Secret Service did a great job on that by spotting him. But on the second one, he had 6 cell phones. That's a lot of cell phones. and a couple of them had some strange markings on them. So, yeah, I want to find out, and I would be willing to release it. I mean, maybe there's a reason that we shouldn't, so I don't want to get too far ahead of my skis, but yeah, I would be very willing to release that. I'd like to see it. I want to see it myself, Peter. Not only you, I want to see that one myself.
Yeah. So we were told, I think there were two things he said during this particular conference. He said, I'm the only one that knows. When he said about Putin not having another choice but to seek peace, along with Zelensky having no other choice, he said, I'm the only one that knows why. And this discussion about the attempted assassinations. That all goes back to the 17 posts, right, folks? There's only a handful of people that know the real story, okay, how things are going to go down. And, of course, one of them is Mr. T. And the second thing was about the assassinations. What if there is evidence that surfaces tying the three-letter agencies, FBI, CIA, into assassination attempts against Trump? What happens to them? Those organizations, they get taken over by the military. Military intelligence will absorb them and run the show. And by the way, that bronze behind Trump that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, I said Remington bronzes were very valuable. That is a miniature bronze of Andrew Jackson on his horse. That is a miniature of the statue that is right in front of the White House that they tried to pull down during his first term when he started the 10-year automatic prison sentence for people that damage national monuments. All right? That's what that is. It's Andrew Jackson waving his hat. So if you look at the picture of the statue in front of the White House, you'll see it's the same hat, the same pose, everything. Now, the other thing Trump put out was truths about Canada, okay? And the he lowered some of the tariffs on Mexico and Canada, primarily about potash as it's applied to auto manufacturing. He's given them till April 2nd, as was noted earlier in the chats. But he was talking about how Justin Trudeau spent time with him on the phone. And he told him too much fentanyl getting through. You're taking too much advantage of us. You too high tariffs on our milk and dairy products, over 250%. Then he followed up that truth by saying, I was asking myself, why is he doing this? You know, he knows that if he puts more tariffs on us, we just raise the tariffs reciprocally. He said, it dawned on me. I asked him when the elections were, he wouldn't give me an answer. It dawned on me he's going to use this subject to try to get himself reelected. And then Trump said, good luck, Justin. But anyway, here's Justin Trudeau starting to cry a little bit and talking about the waning days of his leadership. And, you know, they bash Trump for saying America first. All you hear Trudeau talking about is Canada first, which is what a leader should do, put their country first. But it's okay for Trudeau to do it. And, we feel so bad because he's crying. But if Trump does it, he's an evil dictator and a bad man because he's for America.
On a personal level, I've made sure that every single day in this office, I put Canadians first, that I have people's backs. And that's why I'm here to tell you all that we got you. Even in the very last days of this government, we will not let Canadians down today and long into the future.
Well, I think you're letting your people down. You think it's going to help you politically. And Trump thinks you're using it to get put back in office. Here's that picture of Nicole Wallace I was looking for. These are the two. Trump said need to resign. Trump hammers MSDNC called for resignation of Maddow and Wallace. So there they are. There's their two pictures. We shall see how long they retain their position after that public rebuke from Trump. Here's another example of the kind of violence that comes out from this propaganda media. This is a spaghetti-armed liberal that is going around bashing up Teslas. Remember how all these tree-hugging climate change cultists worship Teslas and stuff now? But this is how quickly they can have their brains twisted in a knot. So you got some old kook going around bashing up people's cars because they're Teslas. What are these damn liberals? Let me see here. Here we got a propaganda video put out by the lefties. Where is it? Where they're showing, I might have to take the music out of this, or I might have to take the whole clip down. It depends. This is where they're acting like they're ready to fight, and they're pretending like they're part of a game, a video game for young people. Choose your fighter. Watch these idiots. Let me see who they are. Let's see. Jessica Wu, AOC, Lauren Underwood, Catherine Clark, what a bunch of cornballs. What's that? Who's that? Susie Lee, Nevada? And Trump team put this out. Let me find it. Trump team put this out. The American people have already chosen their fighters. Let's see right here. Hopefully I won't get a copyright on the music. Ha ha ha! We chose our fighters. Ha 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 ha! You know, the other thing Trump was asked about during this presser, I meant to put that in my thumbnail on one of my videos too. Left in Space. Remember the movie, the TV series Lost in Space back in the 60s with Jonathan Harris and Guy Williams and June Lockhart, Billy Mummy. Well, the space station crew's been left up there for 8 months. 8 months. And they asked him, man, what a range of questions they asked him about. And Trump had answers and was on top of every single one of them. A stranded astronaut confirms Biden shot down Musk's offer to bring pair home. Absolutely factual. So they've been up there for 8 months. And Trump said that Elon was going to send a rocket up in about 2 weeks. Danger, Will Robinson, that's right. Ha ha ha. So I was cruising around on Truth Social, and they put this video up of the third engine booster that got caught by the chopsticks. Okay? Let me play that for you.
What an incredible sight to see the super heavy booster gliding down into the chopstick arms once again.
Yeah, that's right. Dr. Smith is a Dem party. Ha ha. A lazy schemer. But anyway, about an hour after that video, this video came out. Said that the spaceship that booster launched blew up.
Hey guys, get back to the cockpit.
So that was a couple of hours before I went live that video was posted. So I don't know if that's going to affect what's going to happen with this rescue mission. But Trump called them left in space instead of lost in space. So we'll have to see about that. I don't know if they'll make that. I certainly hope there wasn't any crew on board. I guess we would have heard, right? So anyway, it's worrisome. I don't even know what this video is about right here. Let me see. I uploaded this. Oh, Ro Khanna. Oh, this is where she's a representative. Her last name is Fox. And I played a video of her talking about how her Democratic allies or friends in the Congress, she's a Republican, have lost their sight of the Constitution. I might still have that video in my quiver, but anyway, here she is asking them how much money these Democrats are spending on sanctuary cities.
Gentlemen's time's expired. Chair recognizes Dr. Fox from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Johnson, in the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens?
Thank you for that question, Congresswoman. So since 2022, since the governor of Texas began shipping...
Just tell me a number. I don't need a speech. Just tell me a number.
So since 2022, since the governor of Texas was shipping individuals to cities across this country, the city's budget, roughly 1% of the city's budget over the course of 4 years.
Mayor Johnston, the same question, and I don't need a speech, just a number.
Thank you, Dr. Congresswoman. Thank you, Congresswoman. It's $79 million over the last 2.5 years.
Mayor Adams, same question. How much has New York spent to care for illegal aliens?
Approximately $6.9 billion went out of our taxpayers' funds.
Mayor Wu, same question. How much has Boston spent to care for illegal aliens in the last 4 years?
We do not ask about immigration status and giving city services and providing that access, so we do not have a number.
Taxpayers have been bearing the brunt of the massive wave of illegal aliens who've entered the United States. The Biden administration seemingly declared taxpayers and hardworking Americans collateral damage in the pursuit of open borders. Again, Mayor Johnson, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Chicago?
In accordance with the Welcoming City Ordinance, our sister agencies or city departments, we do not seek the status of any individual that is seeking service.
Mayor Johnston, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Denver?
Thank you, ma'am. When folks arrive on the streets without food or resources or shelter, we do provide food or shelter regardless of where folks arrive from.
Mayor Adams, same question.
Yes, in combination of city agencies and nonprofits, we responded to the migrant asylum seekers humanitarian crisis that hit our city.
And Mayor Wu, I assume you don't know their status, but do you know if there are NGOs are providing services to people arriving in your city without any kind of documentation?
There are community organizations, many of them in Boston, who seek to serve all of our Boston residents.
Congress must provide oversight and ensure.
Yeah, well, billions and billions and billions. That's the bottom line. And yeah, it didn't sound like a number because he didn't give a number. He didn't give a number. She said, I don't need speeches. Just tell me a number. They can't answer anything straight. And I like her too, Miss Fox. I mean, she's neat, you know. Hi, Justin Bean. How you doing? I'm just looking to see if I missed anybody. I'm sure I have. I hope I got to say hello to everybody. And yeah, I know the MSM is never tells the truth. Why would they tell the truth about anything to do with Elon's rockets? But anyway, I thought, you know, I always say, go back and listen to Trump again because you pick up stuff. But I was excited about what was said today. I really was. And the other big story of many, many big stories was catching this. I didn't even know he was on the radar. It was a complete surprise that they caught this person who set the bomb off at Abbey Gate. I think 160 civilians perished along with the 13 soldiers. And then the next thing we know, Trump is announcing that they have captured this individual. I'm trying to find an article on it. Let's see. It's got to be in here somewhere. This Abbey Gate bomber. Well, anyway, what I'll do is I'll play this video about Sebastian Gorka is discussing how they zeroed in on this character. And none of us really even knew it was coming. He said he unleashed the hounds of hell.
We just unleashed the hounds of hell. I came into office to run counterterrorism for Mike Waltz, the former Green Beret national security advisor to President Trump. And in my first 2 weeks, I'd been told by the intelligence community, our special operators, that they've been surveilling bad guys, jihadis, across the planet for 4 years. And the Biden administration just didn't care. Wow. We said, well, we told the president, and he said, find them and kill them. And I'm old school, Jesse. You're a little bit younger than I am, but I walked into my SCIF, my secure compartmented information facility at 12:01 on January the 20th after the inauguration. And I got out a big whiteboard and I wrote at the top, hostages, president's priority, get the hostages. And right next to that at the top, it was a code word back then. It was classified. It's since been declassified. but Shadi Fuller's nom de guerre in ISIS, which was Jafar. So I wrote the letter J at the top of my CT priorities for America. And I just told the CIA, the NSA, amazing people, John Radcliffe, Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, now the director of the FBI. We need to find this guy for the president, for the 13 families, and we need to kill him or bring him to U.S. soil to face justice. And look, I'm surprised. I mean, the NSA especially, we salute, you know who you are, I'm not going to give their names away, the NSA team that found a certain piece of intelligence. We provided it to the government of Pakistan, and thank you, Pakistan, for tracking this man down, apprehending him. And then our brave flight team members from the FBI went to Islamabad on Saturday. They interviewed Shadi Fuller, and he confessed, not just to Abigate, but to numerous other ISIS mass murders. And then we were there on the tarmac with Cash, with Pam, with Tulsi, with John, with my counterterrorism team, and about 100 other agents. And it was like a movie. President Trump made the promises to the Abigate 13 families. And last night at 3 a.m. at Dulles Airport, President Trump kept that promise.
There you go. So they said to off him when you catch him, just go ahead and take him out. But they captured him and brought him back. Promise kept. Gold Star Ken hail Trump for finally bringing Kabul killer to justice. So hopefully they will use the swift sword. And we're not going to pull any punches on a punishment. Here is a important picture, I think. This is Kash Patel put this out. That time you delivered the sword of justice for the American people. Thank you for your incredible leadership. Pam Bondi, John Ratcliffe. So proud of the men and women of the FBI, DOJ, and CIA. Justice for Abigate terrorist Jafar. Officially, that was the code name that you heard Sebastian Gorka say was classified. That was his code name, Jafar. So you see Pam Bondi and John Ratcliffe. John Ratcliffe's director of national intelligence was director of national intelligence under Trump right at the end of Trump's last term. But they are rehabilitating the FBI. Okay? They're wearing FBI jackets. Kash Patel's the director of the FBI. This is their way of gaining public trust again for the FBI, I believe. We got to get our institutions back in shape again. So anyway, let's see. What's this one? Is this another? Let me see what's going on here. I don't even know. Oh, God. Oh, God. I was talking about the rhetoric that causes like what we've been seeing. The guy damaging the Teslas, the girls talking about putting out a hit on Trump and Musk. Anyway, here's some pukes from The View. Joyless Behar.
With a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them. I mean, the thing about it is it's not just about politics. It's about morality, ethics. It's about cruelty. It's about discrimination. It's about a lot of things. So those are personal human values. We're not really just talking about fiscal conservative who pays more taxes. We're talking about you as a human being. So it's hard to be friends with someone who signs on to something like that. On the other hand, they're open to discussion. I like to talk to them, find out what exactly do you know about this guy.
Yeah, so what planet are they living on? I don't think there's any way, to even. Are they being paid to do this? Paid? Or do they really think this way? I've got a nice girl clip. I'll play it. She might say a word you dared. But there are normal people out there. I try to play the normal people as much as possible.
I think the Democrats are the slimiest, most insufferable, ignorant leeches in government. Last night, Trump had his joint address to Congress. Everything I hoped for and more. He laid out his vision for a stronger America, a safer America, a more common sense America, an America that'll benefit all of its citizens. And of course the Democrats sat there, stone-faced, arms crossed, radiating pure bitterness because their hatred for one man is stronger than their love for this country. I especially found it ironic that they chose to wear all pink to protest and to symbolize what? Femininity, when the day before they voted against women to allow men in women's sports. Okay, and then they held up signs saying this is not normal. When they support castrating children and men cosplaying as women, yeah, the jokes write themselves. Democrats hate you. They made it especially obvious last night when they refused to stand for grieving widows, families, and a 13-year-old child with brain cancer. They couldn't even clap for the apprehension of terrorists or the protection of women, or even acknowledge basic, uncontroversial achievements like a balanced budget. But rest assured, they made sure to lift their self-righteous fannies off their chairs to give Ukraine a thunderous applause. The Party of Joy is just a congregation of soulless, evil, power-hungry frauds that do not and will not ever represent America.
There you go. Will not ever represent America. Here's another nice young lady right here. We want to hear from the nice young ladies. She's not cleaning her ears out. She's feeding her little bitty baby.
Hey, so this message is for the useless Democrat members of Congress. What the hell do you stand for? Whose side are you on? Do you even stand at this point? Because you wouldn't stand for a child with cancer. You didn't stand for a widow. You wouldn't stand for a mother who lost her child. It only seems like you'll stand up for yourself and you'll stand up for the money laundering that's going on in Ukraine. I mean, well done. Bravo for last night during the State of the Union, because the only thing that you guys proved was how useless you are. And you proved to each and every single one of your constituents that you are for yourself and nobody else.
Yeah, there you go. Hammer 'em good. Now here's a guy. He's from Virginia. I forget his name. I always talk about these. You know, we see representatives. We know who they are right off the bat. AOC, all these dingbats that we just know who they are. Well, here's somebody that just pops up out of the woodwork and starts talking smack, and it reeks of desperation. So remember this creep's face, because it's like I said about Chris Murphy. It's like I said about the other senator before. I got his name in the studio somewhere, but remember his face. But listen to what he's talking about Musk and Trump.
We're going to do everything we possibly can to lift you up. There's the whole notion of the people that are most valuable are the people that have given up their careers, given their lives. Almost every one of you can make more money selling cars. I promise you that. But instead, you're taking a lower pay in order to serve the American people. And we are deeply, deeply grateful. Yeah. And please be hopeful. We are not going to lose this. We're not going to lose. We're here today, but this is a marathon. Yeah, we're making progress each and every day. Right. What we can't do is be so afraid, so depressed, so lost, because we have to be hopeful. We have to be courageous. We have to fight back in every way that we do. Yep. And when we do that, we're going to send Elon back to South Africa. Right. He came from illegally, by the way. Yeah. And we're going to make sure that we have the federal government workforce that really makes America ever stronger, ever stronger. Yeah. And by the way, when we take back the House, we're going to pass the PRO Act. Yes, sir. Our workers, all of our workers, especially all our federal workers, to make sure that we come together. Yeah. By the way, I've been a businessman for a long time. A long time ago, I figured out the only thing I have to sell is the work that the people I work with do. Yeah. That if I have people who are motivated and well treated and well respected, like each other, feel like they are lifted up, they do a really good job. Yes, sir. And when you tell them that they're dirt, that they're not important, then they don't do such a good job. That's right. So that's right. I just want to say that if I were Elon Musk, thank goodness I'm not, I would do it the exact opposite way. I'd be coming to Everett and others and say, how do we make this workforce happy, productive, respected, well paid, and lifting up every service that we provide to the American people.
So keep blah blah blah. All these creeps are sitting around Here's his name right here. Right here. Virginia Democrat, Congressman Don Beyer. Don Beyer, remember that name. When they start coming out of the woodwork and saying to deport Elon Musk back to South Africa and crap like that, and all these people that are standing around him, they got nothing to do all day. And they get big paychecks. Don't forget that. They're talking about passing the PRO Act, which I guess means they're considered professionals, and who are we to question them? Whoops, this is a guy. I'll get him on next broadcast. That's another mercenary who got himself in trouble. We'll talk about it. Here is something I was going to put up the other day. Kash Patel put this up just before Trump's speech. And he says, warning up instead of warming up. I'm just pointing it out. I mean, Kash is an intelligent person, and he put warning, like Danger Will Robinson. Well, a warning instead of warming up. I don't know. It's just a little something I noticed that you wouldn't expect to see unless it was done on purpose. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I do not know. But anyway, listen to this idiot right here. He's asked a simple question about what they believe in or what they think they're doing, or explain yourself.
I want to ask about California Governor Gavin Newsom's comments saying that Democrats were in the wrong for allowing transgender athletes to compete in female and girls sports. What is your response to that after Democrats had opposed the women and girls in sports?
I haven't seen his comments. What Democrats opposed was unleashing sexual predators on girls throughout the United States of America.
What? When did you all ever oppose that? You've done everything to allow creeps near kids. He's talking about Gavin Newsom's trying to switch horses, right? Gavin Newsom's trying to act like he's a normal person. This is the kind of society we're close to ending up with right here. This is in the UK. Okay? The video speaks for itself.
If England was to go to war, would you fight for the country?
No.
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 You just got your citizenship, so you're
But
not.
I'm not fighting.
No. I have no ounce of patriotism in my body whatsoever.
Really?
No. I just can't be bothered.
No, can't be bothered. Okay.
But also, we're all trans, so like that's a hot topic, isn't it?
How does being trans come into the conversation?
I think especially in America, they've just outlawed trans people joining the military. So I don't know what that situation means for us in the future, but I can't wear this to the bloody. Imagine me in the barracks, like, no, it's not happening.
The last thing I would want to do is represent England. There's not exactly much to be proud of.
The people,
right now.
yeah.
No, that's true. The culture, but like representing the government,
Nah.
not right now. There's nothing they've done that has like earned my respect enough to fight for our government.
I'm not from here, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's a bunch of trans boys that aren't that much bothered about defending their own country. Oh, I don't know, television shows, if it's that bad, but what kind of productive life can they ever live? What kind of productive life can they ever live? So, I've gone an hour and 43 minutes. I hope you all remembered to give me a thumbs up. I forgot to ask through the whole broadcast. And I got a buy me a coffee link in the description. I want to thank Mike and Bev for coming by me a coffee and helping helping sponsor tonight's show. I appreciate that. And if anybody wants to help out, it's a totally viewer-supported channel. I don't get anything from you, Tizzle. I wanted to put this up real quick, too. This is Voice of America put this up. Vance visits Mexico border, says U.S. won't invade Mexico. I was like, what? What are you talking about? They won't. Well, I read their little article, and it says, the quote from Vance says, I'm not going to say that we're going to take military in action in Mexico today. That's what he said. Today. And he said, I'm sure President Trump will address that issue when he feels it's necessary. But what they put out for everybody to read is that the U.S. won't invade Mexico. So if something does happen, they'll say Trump broke his word. See how they operate? He's not going to talk about it today. What about tomorrow? Here, this is Brazil. I showed you England. Here's Brazil. Brazil. And remember our friend Oakman was up, he was talking about if you said the wrong pronoun to somebody, they could sue you and win monetary damages in Brazil. Well, get a load of this video.
A mother and daughter from Brazil have revealed their double gender transition to become father and son. Rafael, 38, and Gustavo, 10, both transitioned to male after being born with female biological characteristics. Gustavo began his transition at age 4, inspiring Rafael to follow suit. Rafael came out as male in 2023 and has since shared their journey with nearly 25,000 Instagram followers. The father and son have previously spoken out against people using the names they went by when they identified as women. Even though it is our right to have the social name respected in practice, respect rarely happens in fact, they said. Gustavo, a student and actor, has played both transgender and cisgender characters in films. He also receives care at the Transdisciplinary Outpatient Clinic for Gender Identity in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's psychological experimentation on a human being, on a child. And yeah, we got a lot of work to do to put a stop to this stuff. We'll see how it goes, folks. I've got a video to play for you on the way out. I think you'll enjoy. Let me find it. Let me see what's going on in the comments here. Yeah, it's abusive. It's abusive. And of course, what does a kid know? He's a kid. He's a kid. He doesn't know what's going on. But they're easy to manipulate. Oh, I got a poll. I'm going to save that. I'll go ahead and play this for the way out. It's CNN. So, and what's this guy's name? Harry Anton. You can tell he's relaxed. He's having a good time putting these polls out, even though it's rotten news for the liberals. And I don't think these are accurate numbers. It's still good for the cause. So anyway, folks, enjoy this video. And thank you for spending your precious time with me. I appreciate it. Please remember to give a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And you all have a great night. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
This to me was one of the more shocking figures that I saw. Made me go, wait a minute, hold on one second. Whoa, Americans on Trump and Joe's efforts. Musk and Doge should influence government spending and operations. Look at this, 54%. The majority say that he and they should. How about approve of Trump trying to cut staff at government agencies? Again, you get a majority here, 51%. So yeah, Elon Musk might not be that popular, But these cuts and the idea of spending cuts, at least within the federal government and cutting at government agencies, that actually has majority support. I was truly surprised by this, Kate, but the numbers are the numbers.
Well, there is a view that cuts across Democrat and Republican of people thinking that Washington is too big, bloated federal government, waste, fraud, and abuse. I mean, those are drain the swamp is what people run on over and over again. How do they feel? What do they think they're actually cutting?
Yeah, what do they think they're actually cutting? Democrats want to argue that the type of spending that Musk is cutting is mainly necessary programs, but that comes in at just 36%. The wasteful spending actually wins the plurality here at 42%, according to a recent Washington Post Ipsos poll. And I think that is the reason why you see that when it comes to Musk and Doge, you see, in fact, the majority believe he should have some influence because they believe, the plurality believe, that he is cutting wasteful spending, not necessary programs that Democrats are arguing.
Tomato, tomato. I do like Dusk and Moj, though. I think we need to keep that around. But the definition of wasteful is, I think, what is really starting to come into play.
Correct.
What people, necessary to one is wasteful to another. We are seeing that and finding that. How are Americans feeling about the size of the government?
Yeah, so what is exactly going on here? What is sort of driving these numbers underneath? Government is doing too much or too little. Back in 2020, when Trump lost re-election, 54% said too little. By the time he won re-election in 2024, look at that. Too much won the majority at 55%. It was the inverse. So I think there's this real push from the American public to want spending at the U.S. government to drop. And I think that's part of the reason why they're giving Musk and Doge that majority, at least at this point, when it comes to his influence over federal government
They're giving
spending.
him running room on this, but that's why I think these numbers show why transparency and what is actually being done and why the problems of they've made mistakes and putting things up on their wall of receipts that didn't actually happen or not, why that is so important and critical.
I think that's exactly right. We'll have to wait and see what happens. What's popular one moment may not be the next. We'll see.
Could change quickly. Good to see you, Harry. Thank
nice
you.
to see you.
John.
By the way, Dusk and Moj is my favorite
And to song.
Dusk and Moj, my dear friend, back to you at the desk. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sherry Henn winning a Grammy near